Who wanted the baddest? Let's see. Oh, we boxing? Yeah, we boxing. I need that belt like it ain't no other option. So we punching and weaving and blocking. Defeat ain't an option. Let them know. Shoot a video, put it on BVO. Let them know. Every time I punch, it's a heavy blow. BVO, bound to hit like bricks cause it was set in stone. Let them know. I ain't getting body, but I'ma hit this flow. Yeah, way more than a show. This is BVO.
Yo, what's up? It's your boy BBL Boxing. I'm your host. And today I got my brother, man. One of my favorite reporters in the world, man. Favorite box reporters in the world. And don't forget, I got the Puerto Rican himself, my man D Free. Shout out to my man KQKC. What's going on? What's going on, YSM? How you feeling today, man?
Oh man, I'm chilling, man. How are you?
Good, man. So your city been in the news for a lot of good reasons, man. I want to ask you. I want to ask you something before we get to talking, man. What happened with Boots and Brian Norman, man?
Oh, wait. I might have to hop on camera for this one. I don't normally hop on camera. All right, let me start by saying this, right?
Right.
I can't tell a man what to take. I can't tell a man what his value is.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But I thought that a fight was going to get done. And, I thought that they were close to a number, but it seemed like when they got close to a number, Brian Norman and them wanted a bit more for whatever reason. You know what I mean? In their mind, they had a number that they wanted to walk away with. And yeah, shit just fell apart in like the final hour. It was crazy.
Yeah. So I gotta ask you. And so are you from Philadelphia originally?
Yes.
Okay. So what was it like for you growing up in Philadelphia in the late '80s, early '90s, man? What was that like?
Shit, it was fun, It was fun. This is when kids were actually outside and not on technological devices. Yeah, I grew up in Logan, Alney area, and yeah, man, we basketball, football, baseball, you name it, we played it. And I had a ball. Never really got caught up in too much bullshit. Of course it was around, but when you're occupied, like I was a basketball player growing up, so shit, I was trying to get to D1. I wasn't worried about anything else but that. Oh, and these girls, I was worried about that, but that was about it.
So speaking of that, man, how did you get into boxing? Did you box when you were young? Because you said you're a basketball guy.
Nah, man. Yeah, it's funny as shit. So I came home from college. My dad was an entrepreneur. Came home from college and I worked in one of his bars. And the head of security, he was really, really into boxing. And so, he used to always have it on. So I would just sit there with him and just watch. And then, I wanted to, whenever you watch something now, you want to argue and debate with people about it, right? So then I took to Facebook to get in these boxing groups and, arguing and debating with guys. My favorite fighter is Andre Ward. A lot of people don't know that. All time, Andre Ward.
Andre Ward?
But Andre Ward's my guy, bro. I love Andre Ward.
You must like man.
Who's that?
I said, you must like to fall asleep, man. You said Andre.
No, man. I like the sweet science of boxing. But
yeah.
Of course, I love Roy, but Andre Ward's like number one. Number two, I like Juan Manuel Marquez. Number three, Roy. Even though Roy's the best fighter I've ever seen in my life. But so arguing on Facebook, and there was this guy that was going around. He was just arguing with everybody. So we probably argued for like a week straight. Then he DMs me and tells me that he works for a website and he was going around arguing with people to see who knew they should. Did I want a job? Like, so I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, oh yeah, all right, cool. You know what I mean? Like a week later, he hits me with the DM with the itinerary for Sergey Kovalev versus Elena Alvarez, and the rest is history. It's my man Paul Humphreys from Into Boxing. Shouts out to Paul Humphreys and John Edmonds. They gave me my start, man.
Yeah.
UK dudes.
You spoke about you grew up with your mother and father, or just your father?
Mom and pop later. You know how that go. I don't want to get too far into it, but
yeah. And the reason I say that, man, because when you have a good father around, it always gives you. Because one thing you're known for is your confidence, man. And some, at least for me as well, I've noticed that when you got your father around, you always seem to have that extra little confidence. You can tell when somebody had it. So I was just wondering, is that him?
No, definitely. Like my pop is the reason why I think and I operate in the manner that I do. Him and my mom had a little falling out early. You already know how that go.
Yeah.
So, but when I needed him the most, he was there, and really, really instrumental as far as like my business mindset and how hard I worked. He was real big on that. Like, go hard. Like, and when men don't allow men to escape accountability.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
so,
that's a
So no, it wasn't. Can I curse on here?
Oh yeah, you can curse.
Oh man, it was.
You can curse, but we not allowed to curse.
Stop acting like a little bitch. Like it was a bunch of those. You know what I'm saying? Growing up black, but yeah. So he recently passed. He passed this year. So
I'm sorry to hear that, bro.
Sorry to hear that, brother. Peace and blessings to your family.
Thanks, man. Hey, I'm just going to take the lessons that he taught me and pass them down.
I'm sorry, I got to say this, man. Happy birthday to my grandmother, man. She would have been 70 years. I'm sorry, I forgot about when you just said.
It's all good.
I just thought about that, man. Happy birthday to my grandmother.
Happy birthday, grandma.
Happy birthday, grandma and BVO.
Nothing like grandma.
Ain't nothing like it. Now, hey, YSM. Now, how did that event that y'all threw in the city the other day? Because I'm right over the bridge in South Jersey. I'm from Philadelphia, but I came over the bridge. I seen your clips with the basketball thing that Boots is giving back to the community. How did that turn up? Tell the people. I know how it turned up because it's my city. So tell the people for those who don't know about that. This is Boots' second year in a row with that, right?
Yeah, second year in a row. Right. Hey, yo, where you from? Where you from?
I live in South. I'm from Philly, but I live in South.
Yeah, no, I'm saying what part of Philly, bro?
I was born in North Philly.
Oh,
I don't remember it. I don't remember it though. I ain't gonna sit up here like that. But I do.
No, but your people's from North. I got you.
Yeah, I do construction from Philly, so every building you see, I do that.
And speaking of that, man, now we all know your ties to Boots, man. We all know it. Let me about this. When you watch boxing, is it hard to not be a homer because you got so many great guys like Danny Garcia, Schoolboy? Is it hard not to be a homer? Because there's a guy out there, 2-time undisputed champion. I know you know about him. Is it hard not to be a homer?
I can analyze boxing fairly and objectively. Who I'm going to root for, I'm going to root home. But wait, this says the host is muted. Oh, okay, shit, I read that wrong. Yeah, I'm going to root for my guys. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. But if I'm interviewing somebody, I'm going to, as you can see from the Brian Norman stuff, I'm going to let you say your piece. Like, I'm neutral. The platform is neutral. Yeah. Me, I do have my favorites, but I'm never going to let that spill over into the platform.
Yeah, I know that.
That's why your platform is dope.
Shake, and I only person I think you're a little hard on, man. I see guy after guy go in on Tio, man. What's that about? What's that about, man?
What my issue with Tio?
Yeah.
My issue with Tio is the same issue I have with Ryan. You know what I mean? I'm black before anything. So when you disrespect my people, you disrespect me, you disrespect people that die for me to be here. So nah, I don't allow the race stuff. Nah, I don't do those. Yeah. Once you do that, it's up from there. So
yeah, I know what you mean when you say that. But just in general, isn't it kind of funny how like you went from watching boxing to almost being in the center of the stories now? Because a lot of us come to YSM Media, man, to find out what's going on in boxing, man. Like, how does that feel to be like that go-to person in boxing, man?
Yo, that's crazy because like I don't even view myself like that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm gonna tell you like this: being a fan and then being a part of it is it's two completely different vantage points, and you don't enjoy it as much. I'm not even gonna lie to you when you know what's what and how everything is ran, because it takes that cloak off of it. Like
Mm-hmm.
boxing is beautiful and terrible at the same time.
Mm-hmm. It's a love and hate relationship with
Yeah,
boxing, man.
it's
It
like
really is.
when you hear about the shit that go fights that don't get made, and you just like, man. Then
Shit
you
be
hear about
goofy.
fighters getting jerked. You're like, man, these motherfuckers.
Goofy.
Yeah. Business of boxing is awful.
Yeah, it's terrible, man. It's
When you
terrible.
hear that, when you see how dirty the game is, does it shock you at all, or are you kind of used
It
to it?
it did. Now it's like business as usual, but there's always like a situation that just comes up where you just like, yo, ain't no fucking way. But yes way. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the reason I say that, man, because when they told me that they were in the process of getting evicted, fighting, I said, my God, I couldn't imagine even
Yeah.
me. I would have got knocked out. Something like that.
Yeah.
But that being said, when you see a guy like Boots Ennis from your city, man, with the Roy comparisons, man, what's his ceiling? What's his true ceiling like? Because you're pretty unbiased. What's his true ceiling in the sport?
Well, first I forgot to answer my man's question.
Yeah. Let the people know why
The
it's because
event at
I'm a big fan of that event.
yeah, the event at Worcester Playground, it was beautiful. Like he brought the whole hood out, and
Yeah.
everybody had a good time, no bullshit.
Yeah, that's the most important thing. No bullshit.
Yeah. One of the reasons why I like about the kid is you athletes sometimes get Hollywood, right? You are dealing with somebody that doesn't really. It's like he knows he's famous, but he don't think he's famous. It's weird. You know what I mean? He still operates like he operated 5, 6 years ago when he was on Showbox.
Mm-hmm.
And so he still comes out for his hood.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, man, we need more of that.
I just wanted to shed a little light on that because I don't know if my co-host or anybody else, I wanted to make sure that we touched on that because that's major that what he did in the city and nothing happened. That's the most important thing I was impressed with. Nothing happened because ain't nobody gonna come around there acting crazy at Boots stuff. That's good. So I wanted us to shine light on that.
I didn't even realize I was an old head. They had the young ball versus old head game, right?
Yeah.
One of the dudes that was playing the old head game is a dude I played with since I was 14. We ended up going to college together.
Yeah.
And he was the shooting guard. Like he's always been a gunning ass nigga since we were like 14, 15. But he was playing an old head game, and I'm like, damn, like, oh wow, I'm an old head now.
Boots a young boy, so you gotta Boots a young boy. Can't forget that, dog. You know what I mean?
You'll see yourself as a young guy, and then you will mess around and go in the mirror, and you see the gray hair in your beard. And
Right.
Bro,
Yo,
I can't
when you
stop
try
these graves, man. I can't stop them.
But when you try to do some shit that you always did, like I went out, I played ball with them, right?
Right.
And I ain't got it no more.
Yeah, I'm watching.
I played with the young boy. I ain't got it no more.
Hey, I realized that 5 years ago.
So the funny when I was playing basketball one time with some guys that were just a little bit younger than me, and they was like, BBO ain't got it. He's finished.
BBO used to get dunk in high school, but he's washed now.
It was just funny. It was just funny if people say you finished, but
I'm glad that's his second event. Hopefully, Boots, that could be something that we do every year for the city. I'm sure it's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. I have close ties to the mayor, very close ties to the mayor. So I would like to see that more.
Yeah. Appreciate that, bro.
For sure.
I gotta bring my other co-host in here, D Free, man. He go ahead, Free.
Nah, I wanted to ask you, Well, there's ever a time where you got a chance to interview a fighter, and you was kind of like starstruck because you couldn't see yourself at that position. It was something that you never thought you would see yourself interviewing that fighter?
Fuck yeah, bro. Well, first, me seeing Ray Leonard for the first time. Me seeing Ray Leonard, it's not none of these new dudes. I'm not even gonna lie to you, bro. Ray Leonard, not so much. Even though Dre Ward's my favorite fighter, he's like a year older than me. So, like, bro, we were in high school together. I fucks with you, but nah, man.
Yeah, I can dig it.
Yo, I fanned out in Roy, man. I told Roy to his face, and then we doing a scrum interview. I'm like, bro, you the best fighter I've ever seen in my life, bro. It's fucking Roy. Like, kids, they got, like, the young dudes, they got Floyd. Like, Floyd. Nah, man.
Nah,
Roy Jones, Superman,
Roy.
bro.
Yeah.
And you know what always got me, man? I don't know if he was like this too, YSM. He was so country, man. You be like, this country dude.
Hey, I ain't gonna cat YSM. I fanned out at the Armory, the South Philly gym, and Riddick Bowe was there, and he stopped me. Yeah, he stopped me. He was like, "I know you," and I was like, "Nah, but I know you." Then I just fanned all the way out. You know, Riddick was one of my favorites, so I just said, "Fuck it."
And you know, it's funny you brought up Ray Leonard because me and my buddy a little debate on Floyd versus Leonard. And somehow he kind of felt like Leonard was a better fighter. I'm going to ask you, man, who's a better fighter out of Leonard or Floyd?
Who had a better career? Who's a better fighter?
No, who's
better
a better
fighter? Better fighter.
Ray Leonard.
Why?
More complete.
You don't think Floyd complete?
No. I think Floyd is complete, but I feel like Ray Leonard is more dangerous on offense than Floyd is. Like Ray Leonard's defense is better than Floyd's offense.
What about Pretty Boy Floyd? Not Money Mayweather. Pretty Boy.
Okay.
Floyd. I'm talking when BVO asked that question. That's a good question, but I like to break it all the way down. Who was a better fighter, Sugar Ray Leonard or Pretty Boy Floyd? Because Money Mayweather and Pretty Boy Floyd are two different fighters.
Ray Leonard, you talking about like Pretty Boy at 25, Ray Leonard at 25. Honestly, bro, that's not even close.
Okay.
Ray Leonard have dominated like great fighters. Not saying that Floyd didn't beat great fighters, but I feel like Floyd in his totality, of course he had a better career, but if I'm matching up skill for skill, like Ray Leonard might edge Floyd out by a little bit. But at 25, Ray Leonard, can we think of anybody at 25 that was better than Ray Leonard?
I mean, it'll be a stretch.
Salvador Sanchez is the only one I could say for sure.
The only thing with Salvador, he's a bad motherfucker, but he ain't had a scalps like Ray Leonard. What did he beat? Wilfredo Benitez. He beat Duran, and he beat Tommy Hearns.
Hagler.
I feel what you said.
Yeah, that happened later.
The way Leonard got dominated by Duran that first fight. I mean,
I can't even say he got dominated with the wrong fight, but I can't say he got dominated.
I don't know about dominated.
He didn't get dominated. He
just lost.
Duran
He lost.
Dominated.
He lost the fight. He just lost.
Well, you remember they said they showed the video. I seen the playback where his son was crying in the stands. And
well, you're gonna have that, BBO. It's a fight.
I got a question for you though, BBO. This is respectfully. Who did Floyd ever beat that was better than Roberto Duran?
I think Manny Pacquiao fighter than Duran.
No, you don't. You do not. You do not.
That's tough, man.
You do not.
Pacquiao was tough, man, but Duran was on that level tough.
Why is it?
Never.
You do not, yo. No.
Hey, BBO, you going in and out, bro.
Hold on one second.
Yeah. Yo,
I don't agree with. I don't know. That's a good pool.
No, dog,
but I don't agree with it. Me personally, prize fighter, I don't agree with it. But Like, I mean, that was a good name to throw out there, but you know, I don't think that he's greater than Roberto
No,
Duran.
Hands
He
of
did some
Stone?
things. Yeah.
No, yo. Hands of Stone is arguably like a top 10, top 20 fighter of all time. I don't got Manny that high.
I don't either.
No, yeah, Manny lost to some guys that Roberto Duran would have never lost to on his worst day. He would have never lost to him.
Like a Joe
Yeah.
Moore.
Hold on a second. And I usually don't say this, YSM, so you pulling this out of me. This is your fault. But Durang used to get his ass kicked too. I don't know if y'all remember. He kind of got his ass
he
kicked.
did. Yeah, he did.
He did later in his career. Because remember, when he fought Sugar Ray, he was 71-1.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You're talking about arguably the greatest lightweight ever. Like, I just don't think that Manny Pacquiao was as a complete fighter as Duran. Like, Duran was a bad motherfucker.
Yeah, he was.
I don't know. I put like this. The way Manny Pac-Man just beat guys like your Cottos, your Oscars. I mean, he was beating dudes to death. I mean.
Yeah, and
BBO.
and all those are catch weights.
Yeah, do we want to talk? Do we want to have context? Because when you talk about Duran beating Ray Leonard was at his best. He beat him. Like, I don't think that anybody at 47, like the 47s that we talk about, have a win better than Roberto Duran has. That is arguably the best win that you can have outside of like Floyd.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point right there, dog. If you look at it like that, yeah, that's a good point.
I mean, do you think Manny? This is to BBO. Do you think on Manny's best day he would ever beat Sugar Ray Leonard?
He was way too tall. No, way too. Because there were the guys out there was dudes that was taller than him. I don't know what. But speaking of that, we always do this. You know, who would you take? So I gotta ask you this, man. If I gave you Deontay Wilder, Frank Bruno, who would you have?
That's a weird matchup, bro.
Yeah,
I wasn't expecting that one.
That's why it's called that.
You talking about Wilder before they start tinkering with his style?
No, the Bomb Squad Wilder.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about. Yeah,
I think he stops Frank Bruno.
So
Bruno's tough, man. Bruno's a tough dude. But that all right. Go ahead, BBO.
BBO checked out again.
Yeah,
YSM, I want to ask you, because going back to you saying you had your fan moment with Roy Jones Jr., when you interviewed him, did you ever ask any questions that like cater to the fact that, you know, after the Montel Griffin fight, he was doing things that was kind of outside the box, like going and fighting 2 fights in one night, going and playing basketball and then fighting, then going all the way, scaling all the way up to heavyweight and coming back? And how?
No, I didn't get a chance. It was like 10 minutes. It was like after an event. It wasn't like a real sit down where I could ask. Like, I got 100 questions to ask Roy, bro.
Right.
I'm not even gonna lie.
Yeah, because you know one thing about Roy, you're gonna get the unadulterated truth with him. Like, he don't pull punches and he don't shy away from questions. I love that about him when you're doing an interview.
Yeah.
That's why he's one of our favorites. You know, no matter what happened at the back end of his career, I don't really count none of that stuff. But a prime Roy Jones, man, that dude was different, bro.
Prime Roy Jones is something
else. And that
reminds
me, and Jerron Ennis reminds me of him a little bit. But Boots is Boots. I'm not saying he like Roy, but he kind of got that, you know. But Boots is a little different. He not as like vocal as Roy was, you know. But Jerron's like, I don't know, something about him, man. I don't know. He's just one of my favorites.
Well, you're close to Boots, and you've seen a lot of him, and I know you've seen a lot of Roy Jones, because who hasn't? How do you think they favor and how do they contrast? If you were to contrast and compare the two fighters, how would you do that?
Well, Flash and Flair, that's where I feel like they kind of mesh. Whereas though I think Roy's a bit more athletic than Boots, and Boots is more technically sound than Roy. Roy was so athletic, he could do shit the wrong way, and there was nothing that you could do about it. He still gonna beat your fucking ass.
Yeah.
And whereas though I think that hurt him in the latter part of his career, because once he lost a step, he was getting caught with shots that he wouldn't have got caught with if he had tightened up on them fundamentals.
Yeah.
So I think Boots has them where technically sound fundamentals, but Roy and overall athleticism and ability. But as far as like their showmanship and flair, that's where I think that Boots took that from Roy.
Okay.
Yeah,
but really gifted.
When you talk about that, with Boots, I would say if I was a fighter, after seeing him fight David Ebenezer, I would want to fight him tomorrow. Because has you ever seen him get hit that much?
In the Ebenezer fight?
Yeah.
I don't really think he got hit all like that.
And bear in mind that he only got hit 5 more times than Crawford got hit.
Yeah, I was about to say, what's that number today?
I hear what you're saying, but a couple guys who done sparred Boots say they've never seen him get touched like that. Never seen
it. If that performance makes you want to fight him, shit, then I guess Stanionis, Brian Norman, and Mario Barrios didn't see the performance.
Yeah, I mean, I think
respectfully,
that's a fact.
This is my thought on it. I'll ask you this. So we kind of seen that Brian Norman wanted to sell the belt. So if he wanted to sell the belt, what made Boots not just buy it? Because you could just tell that wasn't a real negotiation. That's somebody who's trying to sell the belt. That's not a person who wanted to fight. Because when I heard the whole, and I'm not counting his pockets. When I hear $1.7 million and you've only made a couple $100,000, which is probably like 80 once you pay everybody, you probably wanted to sell the belt. I'm just wondering why you think Boots didn't want to buy the belt, if that makes any sense.
See, I feel like you're using the wrong rhetoric when you say Boots. Like, that's Eddie Hearn and DAZN decision. It's like what a lot of times what we don't realize is they'll have a budget for the fight, right? And they're negotiating in that budget. When things get out of that budget, then now it's time to look in a different direction. I mean, I thought the deal was going to get done around 1.5. Brian Norman Sr., he told me that they were close. I got a relationship with both. He told me that they were close. And then, he went in a different direction. He talked to his people and then felt like, no, he needs this number. He's comfortable with this number. Like I said, I can't tell a man what to take. But if they were asking my advice, I would have said, like, look, you got him to $1.7, $1.8 million. How long is it going to take you for you to make that under Bob? I feel like people aren't asking the right questions in these negotiations.
Yeah.
They keeps talking about the 20% he got to pay the top rank. Well, why couldn't this be a co-promotional deal? Like, why couldn't Bob put up some of the money? Well, I'm not a fan of how Bob is treating an undefeated champion in Brian Norman, whereas though you're not really investing in him. Like, think about it. You got him fighting on Keyshawn's undercard. Who's the fucking champion? Now, do I think Keyshawn should have his own co-main event or his own main event at home? Of course. Keyshawn's a bad motherfucker, and he's definitely going to be a world champion, multi-division, and going to be a star. But Brian Norman should not be fighting on that shit. He should have his own card in fucking Atlanta. He's earned that. But that's what people should be putting pressure on the Bob. He wants 500 extra thousand. Okay, Bob, give it to him.
I ask you this, YSM. When I hear you say that, that would make sense. But Brian Norman, and it's just me from looking out, seems to be a mute. I hear more from his father than I hear from him. And I don't think that's good long term, to where I'm hearing more of your father than from him. So I'm just wondering, when are we going to hear him say it? Because the only thing I heard him say is, I'm not no Rudy Poo dude. That's the most I ever heard him talk. That's the most I ever heard him say. So I'm just wondering, is it because Brian Norman is not invested in himself that he's not talking, or is that just personality?
No, I think that's just his personality. It's like, if you watch some of these dudes, Boots is one of them. Like, they like to punch on people. You got your Twitter, your Twitter fighters. Whereas I ain't saying they ain't good fighters, but they on Twitter going back and forth, arguing with people, arguing with whoever, right? And then you got dudes that'll be like, all right, you say what you want. I'm gonna get you in the ring, and then it's gonna be that. Or I'm gonna see you in a place, and it's gonna be that. Like I look at Brian Norman and Boots, you know, as those type of guys. Like they ain't doing a whole bunch of rapping. When I see you, I see you.
Yeah, yeah. And when you say that, I want to ask you just a question. I know people get on me because I'm not scared to ask this question. Who wins between Brian Norman and Tiafimo?
Brian Norman stops Tio.
Oh my God! Come on.
You're gonna hear a lot of Tiafimo questions.
Yeah.
You know, no, never mind. Wait. He wasn't finished with his answer. He was not finished with his answer. Finish your answer up again.
Bro, you are wildin'.
Every show.
Yo, there's weight classes for. There is nothing that you've seen in 140 pounds that will lead you to believe that he could keep Brian Norman off of him, yo. And I'm not telling you that Brian Norman's a better fighter than T.O. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying styles make fights, and yo, size does matter. He'll punch on T.O.
Well, I feel, but there was some guy that was beating everybody to death named Josh Taylor, and he dominated it.
Yeah, at 140 pounds, not 147. You understand that you are dealing with bigger men, as you saw in like the Steve Claggett fight, right? He was hitting Claggett with some flush shots. He was walking through that shit. At 147, like I don't know if you ever seen T in person, but he's not a big man, right? So you talking about another weight class with significantly bigger guys. They're gonna be able to absorb his shots, right? Is he gonna be able to take theirs? We've seen T.O. hurt. We've seen him drop by guys who weren't really big punchers. No, Brian Norman will, I'm going to say in the late rounds, I think T.O. is going to look good in spots. But round 8, round 9, yeah, he's going to the gulag, bro.
He cooked.
I would agree with that, but Brian Norman was kind of getting beat on until he stopped that dude. I mean,
yeah, against a big Giovanni said big, strong welterweight. Real sturdy dude. Welterweight though.
Yeah, every show
you wildin', bro.
I only got to do this YSM because you my brother, man. I love you, so I got to ask you some tough questions because people won't ask you this stuff. So when you say, this is the natural question. So basically, what I'm hearing from you is that you hadn't seen him beat a guy like Lomachenko when he was in his prime, beat a guy like Josh Taylor. I'm just wondering, like, I don't know how. I think the best fight, really, if I was T.O., I would go fight Boots. If I was T.O., if that was me.
You want that nigga to die?
Who has that you compare to T.O.? I gotta ask you that, man. You my brother.
Question, right?
Go ahead.
I feel like when you start judging fights as far as like resumes go, I feel like you've lost the essence of boxing. Boxing is about style, size, IQ, etc. Right? While T.O. has got way better opposition than Jaron Ennis, style, size is going to play a major role in that fight. Like there is nothing that T.O. could do. There's nothing that T.O. could do to Boots. Zero. Like, I wouldn't even want to see that fight. I want to see T.O. A fight that I would want to see is T.O. versus Tank. That's a fight. T.O. versus Dev. That's a fight.
T.O. stops him, but
T.O. stops who?
T.O. stops.
He's saying stop.
T.O. stops who?
Say it one more time.
He stops who?
He stops
who?
Me and you a bet on that. Me and you a bet on that.
He said Tank.
Fight, me and you a bet on that.
Tank?
He said he stops Tank.
I think it's a good fight, but T.O. stops Tank. Nah.
10 for 11.
Nah.
Hold on.
Nah.
You gotta remember this.
Bro is wilding right now.
You gotta remember.
Hold
on. Let me say this why because you're my brother and I love you. He's working out with Canelo right now. I know you've seen that, right?
Yeah. I feel like that's definitely an upgrade because Eddie Reynoso is a great trainer.
Yes. And that's all he did. He was unified without a great trainer. You know what I mean? So he get in there.
Yeah, but you talking about moving up in weight though. You you're referencing things that he did at other weight classes. They have no bearing when you get to a certain weight class, bro. It's like that's like saying, oh man, since Crawford was 2-time undisputed, he could beat Benavidez. What? Like that 2-time undisputed ain't gonna mean shit when he hop in that ring, bro.
Tell him it again.
I'll just ask you this,
Yo,
why
you said Boots. That kid is sadistic, yo. That kid is sadistic. No.
Do you remember when a young guy named Floyd Mayweather went to Atlantic City and beat out Chill Gotti?
Yeah, I remember that.
I could see Tio going to Philly and beating Boots in Philly.
No, you don't.
You don't see that. Come on.
No, you don't.
Come on, BBO, man.
BBO
Come
showing
on.
off tonight. He's showing off tonight.
BBO. That kid would lose a career that night. It would be you. I would want Boots to knock him out early with one shot, so Tio could actually come back into boxing.
Jesus,
and
Christ.
I'm being dead serious. I want to see Tio in fights that I know Tio has a chance. Tio has no chance, and he has a chance against Brian Norman. I don't think he'll do it. I think he could beat Mario Barrios, somebody like that.
I don't
think he could beat Stanley Onis. No, because Mario Barrios is really a 40. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but Barrios got a little bit bigger now. Pause. But I don't
think
he can beat that. I don't think he can beat Barrios, bro.
Mario Barrios fight. That little eye get like Forrest Whitaker.
Man,
come on. And Claggett
lumped up against Claggett and lumped up against Cambosis. Split.
It's the thing I'll say, man. It's the thing I'll say. I definitely agree with you. I think the fight to make would be Tank versus Tio. And I'll just say this. The way I see Tio running down Terrence Crawford like this, why is not more people covering that?
Because Terrence Crawford killed Tio.
All right, I'm done with the Tio. Let me ask you this.
Let's go back to that, bro. You think that Teofimo Lopez versus Terrence Crawford? Now, mind you, I think that Tio versus Crawford made more sense than Crawford versus Canelo. I agree with that.
Yeah,
because both of their careers started off at 35. So I agree with that, and I agree with the sentiment that if y'all saying that Canelo is ducking Crawford, then Crawford's ducking Tio. But by no stretch of the imagination do I think that Teofimo Lopez has a chance against Terrence Crawford. Terrence Crawford would beat the dog shit out of him.
Well, there's a story. I don't know if you ever heard of this story. There's a guy named David and Goliath. I don't know if you ever heard of that story. I don't know. So I just seen David beat Goliath a bunch of times. But away from the
Tio better go get a slingshot for Terrence Crawford and boots. I'll tell you that. Better get something. A pistol. You know what I'm saying? Excalibur. Better get something.
In the comments told BBL to stop embarrassing the JBT community. That was a funny comment.
You about to have New York like fucking disown me, bro. But nah, dog. Terrence Crawford.
You my guy. You my guy. But let me ask you this real quick. Now, people don't give you enough credit for always willing to help the next guy. Like whether it's my homeboy manager Marty, Greg Hackett. I'll just ask you, man, what gave you that big heart where no matter how well you're doing, you're never scared to get somebody else the mic?
Two things, right? First, it's enough money for all of us, right? I see what the JPT is doing. Y'all doing your thing, man. I'm proud of y'all. Shouts out to my OG, J Hardcore. There's enough money for all of us. Like we all can win. And I remember having 100 subs, bro. I remember when nobody was checking for me. I needed help, and there was dudes that helped me. So it's only right that I do that for the next man. Because starting out, man, it is tough. I'm DMing dudes, subscribe to my channel, sending them the video, and you're watching like this. So I'm still that guy. I'm still the guy that's grateful for every view, every subscriber. Yeah, I'm never gonna get too big for that.
Hey, I gotta say, if you don't never hear it, man, I appreciate what you always want to do that because you don't gotta do it. You don't have to do it. And Marty, man, talks about you when me and Marty first got cool, he's like, man, I just gotta give everything to my man YSM because he gave me an opportunity. And I'm telling you, bro, that doesn't go unseen what you're doing, man. You never get the credit where it matters, but I want to let you know, man, people appreciate what you do for others, man, because you don't gotta do it. You know, but
Yeah,
keep in
That means
mind,
a
man,
lot.
no doubt. I appreciate
Yo,
your
yo,
content for sure. I
keep in
appreciate your
mind this,
content.
YSM. You remember Ali lost to a dude with 8 fights, and I'm gonna leave that to your situation alone.
okay, okay.
So
Before we go on to that, man, we also got to make
go ahead.
mention of the fact that you also do a lot for boxing.
Right.
The way you deliver your content and how you do it without a biased bone in your body, man, that's to be applauded and to be commended. Because in this space, you don't find that very often. You don't find people being genuine. And like you said, you can deal with a fighter that's home team and you can be totally fair with regards to any type of assessment with his skill as opposed to an opponent and how a fight may go. That needs to be applauded, man, because we need more
Yeah,
people to do
salute.
that.
Yo, I
I
really
appreciate your
appreciate that.
content,
Those
man.
real kind words. Yo, tell Terrence Crawford fans that, bro, because they hate my guts. They think
Yeah,
I hate
I
Yeah,
Bud.
wanted to
Nah,
everybody.
ask
this
you
shit
that.
is
I wanted to
weird.
ask you that,
They hate
my guy. Why
everybody,
do they
man.
hate you so much, bro? I
And
wanted
you
to
know,
Bro,
you
ask
know
you
the
that.
funny thing about a Chance
I'm
Crawford
glad you
fan,
brought that up,
they act as
because I
if
wanted to
you
ask you
don't
that.
respect what they're saying or if you don't agree with them to a T. I mean, he beat Earl to death. I seen it. We seen it. It's over. He won.
yeah,
It's
he's a
I don't
great
know why we got
gentleman.
to hear about it. He beat Earl to death. I mean, we ain't seen Earl since. Last time I
Well,
Yo,
seen him,
I seen
he looked
her.
like a
I'm saying.
linebacker. Last time I seen him, I
yo,
thought he was retired.
they legit
I
get
think
mad at me for other people's perspectives. It's like, whoever's talking on my platform, that's their honest feelings,
Yeah.
right? I'm not going to censor that unless they talking like some race stuff or something like that. I'm not going to censor it. So that's how they feel about the fight. If I interview people from Omaha and fighters from Omaha, you think they're going to say Boots beats Bud? No, of course not. They're going to be riding with Bud. So I don't understand where like the narrative goes that I hate Crawford. I hate on Crawford. Crawford is arguably the best fighter in the world. Number one. I got him and Usyk tied right now. With
Over
Usyk, that
Canelo?
was
Come on. Over Canelo?
yeah.
Why? So are you tripping out, bro? Over
They
Canelo?
undefeated. I mean, they undefeated, bro. I gotta give him points for that, right? Did you
Good
not
points
see
for
how he
undefeated. We
did
go
you
over
not see
that.
how he had that giant coke ogre bouncing from pillar to post like
Yeah.
like a
What,
pinball machine? Did you
what
not see
YSM
that?
also, man, not just the undefeated record, but look at who is on his record. It's 12, man. Like he has fought literally a lot of giants.
Yeah. You're right. I mean, Canelo done fought, Miguel Cotto, Sugar Shane Mosley. I mean,
Shane was
Austin Trout.
41 years old.
I mean, it's just he.
No, he did.
I mean,
I'm not telling you that Canelo's not one of the best fighters in the world. I'm talking about right now, currently, Terrence Crawford, Alexander Usyk. They're at the top of my list.
I heard
Yeah.
that.
I respect that, but I said if they the same size, I think Canelo beats him to death when it come to Terrence. Because it's like you just told me,
did
it's
he
weight
beat
classes.
Wait, if they the same size?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a fight. That's a fight.
I don't
And when I
know.
say
Go ahead.
number one fighter in the world, I'm looking at like everything, accomplishments, skill
Right.
set, everything.
Mm-hmm.
I have an opinion about who the best fighter in the world is.
Who is he? Canelo?
Nah. Best when I talk about fighter, we talking about ability,
Yeah.
skills, IQ. Boots.
Oh, I know you're gonna say.
Boots. Boots is the best fighter in the world. But number one fighter, when I have to include what you've done, Boots still has to prove it. But when I talk about like what you've done, Terrence Crawford, Alexander Usyk, man.
Yeah. I
Well,
mean,
I like Terrence Crawford and Gervonta Davis. I don't think Tank gets enough credit for his
I don't.
IQ and his
you
boxing and stuff like that.
know, who would
Tank is definitely in my top 10. Tank is, bro. I feel like people be playing with Tank's name, but Tank allows them to because he never gives you the fight that you want. Like
Yeah.
Tank
Well,
has
he
shut all
tried
that
to.
shit up.
They just ducked him. He tried to, but
Nobody was really wanting Lumber though.
You
nobody ain't
you
want the
talking
smoke.
about You talking about Shakur and Loma?
I'm not gonna say Shakur, but I'm gonna say Loma and
Bias,
Loma basically.
Shakur and Loma.
Here's the
You can say Shakur, but I'm not gonna say Shakur. But I ain't gonna say that.
But here's the thing with that though. Tank wanted to fight him now that Tank is ready. Loma had been asking for that fight for years.
Yeah.
So if I'm going to say that Loma avoided him now, then I have to say that Tank avoided him for all them years.
I mean, I think Loma avoided Tank years ago as well, because when Loma called Tank out, before Tank had got the belt, Loma was the A side. He didn't send Tank Davis an offer. He just said, "I want to fight him." He didn't send him an offer.
Floyd wasn't interested in that fight for obvious reasons.
It was Bob.
Respectfully, no. Hear me out. Right? They Bob and them was on some predatory shit where you got a young champion, 21, 22 years old. My guy's in his prime. So right now, I feel like I got one up on you. But just like where Tank is now, like, oh no, now I'm smack dab in the middle of my prime, and you starting to get a little long in the tooth. Like, now I'm gonna beat your ass. Boxing's all about timing.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Everybody's going to move where they have the advantage and they have the leverage. So did Lomachenko pull some bullshit? Yeah.
Well, he wants to
It's a
family. YSM, come on, man.
no. I can understand that, but you can't. But now you can't tell me that Tank's a duck in this situation, because a lot of people want to throw that label on Tank. Like, nah, he pursued fights with both guys, but both guys, have their own situations. So,
do you think that right now?
Man, let me ask you this: how did you deal? And we talk about the fun stuff, but BBO boxing, I'm trying to cultivate where guys can really get some real information, because like I do, man. When you from the hood, it's hard to get real information. So, how were you able to navigate your biggest disappointment professionally? Your biggest disappointment. How were you able to come back from that?
a lot of times, man, I hear my dad's voice. Stop bitching. Right? I'm gonna get a little serious. As black men, we are faced with just trials and tribulations that other people will not be able to understand unless you're us. It's like sometimes our women can't even understand.
Nice.
And you got to think about everybody that came before you. It's like, is it really that bad? Like, I didn't get sprayed with fire hoses. I didn't get hung from trees. So is it really that bad? Like, my people have persevered and endured countless tragedies and atrocities. So I always put in my mind that somebody died for me to be here. And I owe them. Every day, every minute, every hour, I owe them. So that's how I get by.
Church.
And when you say that, I'll ask you this: when you look at those older guys who dealt with real bigotry, how do you navigate the bigotry in boxing, because it's so hidden now? How you? It was like the Mike Lowry with this reporting stuff. It never seemed to affect you. How are you able to get past all that? Because we know it's there.
It does. Like, you get frustrated. You wonder why you'll actually, like, a reporter of another ilk will tweet about your actual content and get more traction than you will.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll respect them reporting it as opposed to you when it's literally the same information. So it gets frustrating, but we've been here before. You know what I'm saying? And we're not going away. We're not going away. So yeah, I don't I may get my feelings and then I brush that shit off and it's back to business,
And speaking of that, what would you say to a young man or a young woman that says, "Hey, I want to be like YSM, but I don't have any money"? What would you say the first thing they should do?
As long as you got a phone, bro, and you have, as long as you got a phone and you have creativity, you'll be all right. Like, you just got to find your lane in this, right? So you have your BVOs. Like, everybody has a place. Showbiz, right? Showbiz isn't really my cup of tea. I like a bit more informative, more serious. But showbiz has a place because some people love that comedic value with information. They like that silly shit. And so
Yeah.
he's doing his thing. Blue Blood has a place. BFTB has a place. Eagle has a place. Fight Hype has a place. Fight Hub, etc. Like everybody, all you just got to be is the best you. Bring you to the table. Nobody can be you like you can be you.
Yeah, and you say that, and I'll ask you this, man. And I got 2 more questions. And I'll let you go. I'm sorry, and I can talk to you all day. Now, how do you stay in your lane? Because the one thing I can say that I've seen a lot of people, especially people who started, I've been doing it for about 17 months. How do you stay in your lane and not try to do what you see other people doing? Because one thing that's really cool about your brand, I've never heard nobody say, yo, YSM trying to be somebody else. Like, how do you stay in your lane like that?
I just figured out what I do well. And what works for somebody else may not work for me. And I just got to remind myself that on a consistent basis. It's like, if I do something, it may come off disingenuous because that's what it is. If it's not my natural inclination to do it, then yeah. And I don't want to come off hokey or fake. Like, what if I start going, oh, yo, people be like, yo, this nigga wilding.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
YSM
saying?
bugging.
Yeah, and this is the thing. This is the thing I wonder, man. Where did you learn this emotional intelligence from? Because I'm telling you, man, a lot of young men don't have emotional intelligence, man. They really are very reactive. And I'm just wondering, how did you become so cerebral in your movement with this stuff?
Man, I was a hothead growing up. And, your old heads constantly preach to you all the bad things that can happen. And then you see things happen to your friends. And then you really, really think about, like, what do you want out of life? Like, there's some of my friends that have spent, majority of our young lives in prison. And so it's like, bro, like, you only get one crack at this thing. Like, I'm not trying to fuck it up. So I've always had the ability to outthink these niggas. In situations where dudes want to crash out, I want to win. Like, so
I like how you said that.
Yeah, it's like dudes want to prove that they big and bad. Nah, bro, I'm trying to win.
Cause the young boys in the city, man. You know how they are, man.
And you know what, man? I gotta say this, bro. Thank you so much, man.
Young boys.
For
I'm sorry to hear that,
through,
bro.
man. I can't thank you enough for coming through. And it just goes to show how you always willing to put that hand out, man. Hey, and thank you so much, man. And I hope to have you back, man, because everybody don't come hang out with the Asiatic Black Man and crew. But I appreciate you doing that, man. And you know what's funny? Philly's the only place, and my dad told me this story, where cats will get a U-Haul and rob you in a U-Haul. So I got to get Philly.
That's insane, but I can see that happening, bro. I can see that happening.
Hey, but salute, man. I hope to talk to you soon, man. Take care, my brother.
Really, really appreciate y'all. Had a great time, man.
For sure.
You take care, brother. Thank you,
man. Stay doing what you do.
Yeah, we rocking with you. We rocking with you.
I'll tell you what, though, man. That was a great interview, man. Salute to my man YSM coming through. And I see y'all brothers that have my back. Free, I thought you was gonna have my back on that T.O. stuff, bro. You let me down, bro. You let me down, bro.
Now I want to say something. Who you complaining about? Hold on, Free. You complaining about these? Go ahead, Free. Hold on. You complaining about these cameras and you ain't got your camera on. Turn it on.
You a goofball. I'm in the dark. That's what I told him.
I don't care.
But listen. listen. You talking crazy. But D-Free, I'm asking you, man. I'm just shocked that you didn't bring that. He was talking about Till like a dog. Somebody he gonna Boots will stop him and all this crazy. I never heard stuff like that.
I told you I will only speak if I think somebody is out here being crazy. I believe Boots will stop him as well.
I told you this I know already. You don't think that, brother Tommy.
You gotta respect D-Free because I'm gonna be real with you. When he said that Tank was ducking him early on or avoiding the fight, D-Free had to put some clarification in there because at no point in time was the fight ever avoided. It just was never negotiated or even sent to or through term offers or term sheets or anything like that. Because honestly, as he stated, Bob was trying to keep a stranglehold on him, and as was Floyd. They wasn't trying to play together. And, Your boy Tank, man, when he get in that ring, man, my man be over there handing out like sleep studies for folks, man, and then he be giving them CPAP machines, dog. And I don't think they really wanted a chance to get sized up for one of those, but get fitted for one of those CPAPs. So that's just what it be.
I'll
But
say this though. I'll say this, man.
hold on,
My brother
you
Tommy,
said
man. My brother Tommy, man, he's one of the best guys in the world. But when he comes to Tank, he's not unbiased. But
I
shout out
am
to the
unbiased.
JBT.
I am
Shout out
unbiased.
to the
Come on.
JBT. Shout out to the JBT, man. We got my man. Shout out to Pops. J
You want that
Hardcore comes
commercial?
on at 8. Hold on. Let's not forget my man, my older brother, Crush the Legend starts us off at 6:20. And then we go check out my man Hardcore. Then we check out every Tuesday. I think it's every Tuesday or Wednesday. I think it's every Wednesday. I want to say it's Wednesday. My man Remo, Let's Talk Fashions. And I think we got Casuals Corner. We got my man Cass, the Boxtorian. We got The Voice Just Do at 4:00. We got the Asiatic Black Man sent from God himself, God's favorite. BVO, D-Free, Prize Fighter, T'Challa, the tank spit bucket man, my man Thomas Hill.
Whatever.
And don't forget about the Mighty Rise podcast with the best YouTuber other than my favorite 78 is my man Coach Squeeze. Coach Squeeze is the best. Him and 78 Sports are the best guys doing YouTube, bro. I really envy when I hear my man Squeeze. We back with another one.
Hey, but let me say this.
Go ahead.
Since I'm a spit bucket, man, come on now. If you want me to co-sign T.O. beating boots, how in the world when I do that when Claggett, somebody that was ranked under the top 15, had my man looking like he had he looked like he was a cartoon character, man.
BVO's a payroll guy. That's what these payroll guys
shout
do.
out to Miss Just Do.
Shout out Miss Just Do.
When they go on the payroll, they say stuff like that, man.
Yo, shout out to Mo.
We know that ain't true. Shout out to Miss Just Do, man. You know what, Miss Just Do, we appreciate what you do to have my brother Just Do his thing. And people don't know this. There would be no BVO boxing if my man Just Do didn't put his hand up. So Just Do, salute to him. Salute to my man Skinny, aka Mace. He don't do YouTube no more, but my God, Q to God, salute to Q to God, Lost Art of Boxing. My man Skinny, aka Mace, and Just Do, man. Them dudes really help BVO come on here. So when y'all hear BVO come on here telling the truth, fighting against the Puerto Rican, the man that built Philly with his bare hands, the California boy, that's why I come from. I come from it being rough. But let me pay some sponsors real quick. Hold on one second. Let me pay the sponsorship real quick.
Yo, the JBT is back at you with another raffle. This time we be giving away an iPad, 10th generation iPad, on entertainment in the pocket of your hand. So you wonder, how do you get this iPad? It's only $10. We're giving away block specials for all our prizes this time around. $10 per entry, 3 entries for just $25 to get you in this time. Who don't love a block special? Not only are we giving away an iPad, but it's more gifts. Who don't love gifts? Gifts on top of gifts. Send that money, JBT Network 1, JBT Network 1, JBT Network 1. Now, what you say is the other prizes now? We linked up with Kenichi Bear. Noise canceling headphones from the young brother straight from Baltimore, Maryland. So, if you want an addition to your $10, you get a secondary prize if you don't win the first prize. And then don't forget, we got more. Don't win the first prize, don't win the second prize. Who don't need an air fryer? We're giving away a Ninja air fryer. Get your food right, eat healthy, get right. All on the JBT. $10 once again. I get you all of this. Your chance is golden. You got to be in it to win it. If you ain't in it, you don't get no prize. $10, JBT Network 1. Good luck. It's on you.
And, I will be remiss if I didn't play this for my brother, YSM. I know YSM want us to play this real quick. Let me play this.
Primo Lopez, the Takeover, 2-time undisputed world champion.
Hey, BBO.
Hey, but let me. I want to try something a little different before we get out of here, man. Let me say this real quick. Let me put myself on the solo screen. I'm gonna say this. I want people to understand that one thing about boxing is we love to watch it, but I tell you this, man. Being there for your family is the most important thing you can do. You know, BBO comes on here, jokes, like to have a lot of fun, but being there for your family. One of my favorite movies, The Godfather, is he said, you can't be a real man if you don't take care of your family. So whatever you do, try to be there for your family, because at the end of the day, all we can do is take care of our families. And that's the most important thing you can ever do. And when I say your family, I mean your children, your extended family. Let's not forget how important family is. I know family gets on your nerves. You know, family makes you upset sometimes. But at the end of the day, when it's time to bury you, let's just be real here. Family is going to be there. So never forget how important family is. Take care of them. If you got your mother, hug her and kiss her. You know, if you got your grandmother, hug her and kiss her. Same thing if you got your father, grandfather, hug and kiss them, because you know what? I would give anything to spend another second with my grandmother, and I can't. And she's been gone for 4 years. And I just tell you this, man, never forget how important family is. You're never too busy to take care of family. You're never too busy to be there for family. Just remember that. You know, BBO getting his Jerry Springer on. That's my final thought. We getting ready for the Rise podcast. I don't know if my brother's got anything, but I'm done. What you guys got?
Man, shout out YSM, man, for coming through. But shout out to you, BBO, man. You don't get enough credit for letting us come up and pull up and, you know, cook, man. Shout out to Free, Crush, T Hill, you know, Melanie Queen, everybody in the chat, man. You know, I can go on and on, man. We appreciate y'all, man, for sure.
Yeah, appreciate everybody that came through. Make sure y'all smash the like button, share the video, let somebody know, hey, BBO over here doing big things. So I appreciate y'all coming through.
And the last thing I want to say is shout out to everybody here on the panel. Always come together to make a dope show. I want to shout out the chat. The chat is always interactive and always making it good commentary for us to go back and forth with. And then for the lineup, you said you started off with Crush and then to Jay. You got to get a time frames, because also like on Tuesdays, I mean not Tuesdays, but Wednesdays, that comes on at the oh my God, I'm sorry. Let's Talk Fashion with Remo. It comes on at 10 Eastern. We have the Angry Man podcast. They come on Fridays at 10 p.m. We have also on Friday, I believe we have the Casuals that comes on at 11 a.m., I believe. And then we have also Boxing Talk with Banky and Jay. Banky Pound and Jay Hardcore. And I believe that comes on Wednesdays. Wednesdays, and I think that's at 12. All times Eastern. I'm over on this west side, so you know it's always much earlier for me. But you guys tune in. We're gonna start putting up a playlist of the shows that come in. But always, anyone is welcome when you guys come in. We encourage everybody to give their takes and their opinions, even if it's an opinion where you will say Teofimo will beat Boots Ennis. So let's go on and get the commentary going. Much love to all you guys.
That's a disclaimer. When y'all hear that, just go ahead and don't even mind it. Don't even mind it.
Hey,
my bad. I didn't even know I wasn't on camera. My bad. I didn't even cam up to say that.
Hey, you know the funny thing about it? That's why we got Thomas Hill here, man. You know, he don't get a lot of credit. He the heart of the show. I would say, you know, my man D Free helped me with a lot of the technical stuff, you know. But shout out, man, to Prize and my man
Prize the man.
Definitely shout out, you know, Prize pisses BBO off, but I love that brother, man. Just want y'all to know that.
The joke.
If y'all didn't know yet, that's my guy, man. And we get ready for the Rise podcast.
Shout
And
out
I'm
to the Rock.
telling you, if you ain't seen my man Coach Squeeze, bro, D Free will tell you. I tell you about Squeeze all the time. This dude the best, man. Him in 78. I hope I could be like them one day, man. Them dudes is killing it, man.
You on your
But
way,
get ready
baby
for
boy.
the
You on
Rise
your way.
podcast, and we gone. Peace.
We really boxing. Who wanted the baddest? Let's see.